Okay, thanks for taking a look at the Midas indicator. I wanted to show you another very compatible higher time frame Midas curve indicator that will further enhance your trading. So what you see on your chart here is a curve that was launched on a 10-minute time frame. So this is the primary, this is the upper channel line, and the lower channel line's down here a little bit off the screen. This is the most important in this example. So we're obviously looking at points like this where we're getting close to touching the primary curve, or where we're penetrating up into the zone between the primary and upper channel line. On each of these tests, you can then take your Midas curve and launch it from the high pivot, and you can see potential. These are your areas where you want to be considering a trade. And the beauty of this really is that it keeps you focused on the fact that you're testing a 30-minute or a 10-minute higher time frame resistance zone, which means you don't necessarily want to just sell your whole position on this first dip down. The odds of getting sort of an extended pullback versus just a nice scalping trade are much higher when you're testing into this type of zone. And so you can see how launching this curve is helpful in this scenario. And I don't want to get too into the details just yet. But you can see here how we had this one test. If we launched the curve there, there was a potential of capturing this test up, and then this one blew through it a little bit, but quickly rejected, and we had red Heikin-Ashi back into the zone. So this was certainly a spot where you could have put on a small position to capture a really nice move there. And let's just widen this out just a little bit. Okay, so you can see how nicely this curve held right in here. So this whole area gave you a pretty good indication that this thing might just be rolling over. We get below the lower channel line, which I haven't quite calibrated, so I'm going to calibrate to the low of this first dip. So we get below it right here. Back above, it starts to stall out, and that was an excellent shorting opportunity. And then we have a great test here and here. Now, once this starts to accelerate to the downside, breaking these fractals, you can actually go ahead and adjust your Midas curve. And so you can see we had a nice test and rejection there, and then ultimately in here, this one would have provided a nice scalping opportunity as well. In this case, we break high, we're starting to head back up into this zone, so we're going to want to launch a curve from this pivot low and then calibrate it. Actually, if we calibrate it to this first sort of peak, and you can see, it's not perfect in here, but that is definitely part of using the Midas. You have to pay attention to where price is stalling out in relation to an upper curve like this. So we have a little porosity in here, still ultimately providing resistance, and just for this little area, calibrating it to this peak then captured these perfectly. Okay, I'm going to leave it to this first pivot right here for the moment, because, and then you can see where the curve is providing support. It's, again, if you look at this, it tested a little higher and then made another high. And so you can actually, this is getting into some advanced stuff, but you can actually calibrate it to the low of this bar, and you can see that it actually captured perfectly the low of this move down. Getting a little ahead of myself here. Bottom line is, in this case, we're breaking back above the 30-minute primary curve, support overlapping the upper channel line support. A great point to be looking at getting long. Again, support right in here before the big accelerated move to the upside, which maybe I can just show you, And again, this is off of a 30-minute level, so if you bought in here, you don't necessarily want to sell your whole position into this potential resistance. You want to like let some of this run and give yourself a little bit of a wide trailing stop to allow for something like this to unfold, because we know that we just tested a 30-minute level. So I hope you have seen the power of being aware of your longer time frame levels. If you are interested, please hit the buy link below.